Hello everyone, my name is Jonas Vermeulen and I will be talking shortly about some of the trends in peering that we see as Nokia, a router supplier basically, amongst our customers. I've based this presentation around the theme of harder, better, faster, stronger. And for people who don't really know where that comes from, the picture of the two guys there might give you a hint. So basically, let's have a look at those 4 words and start with work it hard. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about first telemetry, where that could be applicable for, where that comes, how you could use that, making your network better, how we basically can leverage automation, do things faster, where I basically will talk a little bit about 400G and even beyond, something that we do already now for a while in our routers. And then make us stronger, basically how to make your network stronger in a security context. So let's look a little bit at telemetry first, how you can basically look at your network in a more thorough way, in a more insightful way. And that's basically deployed where people want to use or get more insight in your network, where you want to use latency measurements, bandwidth information to optimize your traffic flow or your peering agreements, and even use it for capacity planning. The principle behind telemetry, streamed telemetry, is basically to use more a push mechanism rather than a pull mechanism. And that's from a technology side of point of view. You're actually going to see also there things being used as netconf or gRPC rather than SNMP basically. It allows you also to immediately go to analytics ready data, things that you can put in like Elastic or an InfluxDB or something, because it's more based on machine readable data, XML, protobuf. And also the way how you want to interact with that data, you're also going to see more that it's data model driven, meaning that you can actually look at the Yang model definition of how to interpret certain counters, what to do with that, right? With that telemetry, it's not about just getting information out of the network or how you peer with an IXP. It's also going to allow you more to automate how you work with an IXP or how in general you automate your network. And that actually gives you somehow this triangular relationship whereby you have a network, as an example, an IX network, you get your telemetry information, and on the top you basically have a big data analytics machine or some artificial intelligence that allows you to make smart decisions of how you make use of that network or about your links. It's a way of how basically we see customers interacting with their network, not anymore purely CLI based, but more and more in an automatic fashion. And it's exactly also what we saw with IXPs. They have been also jumping on, like standardizing how you can interact with an IXP. And IX API is a result of that. And I think LINX has been very good to actually be one of the very first ones to adopt that as well. I think even tomorrow, you're going to get some more info on that. Now, purely apart from automating, that is all to do with the rise of traffic you want to push through. Alongside with that, you can also see an increase of your port speeds. And this graph is probably no surprise. Over the years, there is a rise of 10 gig, 100 gig, and now we also see the uptake of 400 gig. First IXPs have started to offer that. We're probably going to see some more coming up. And what I'm guessing in the next few years, we probably move forward from 400 to 800 and maybe even a tera byte port speed, which, by the way, you can also test out on our routers. Lastly is a little bit more about how you deal with DDoS, and then that's basically how your network can become more stronger. And the trend there is basically over the years, you see a very fast uptake or a very fast rise around what is your bandwidth behind the DDoS attack. And the graph that you see on the left is basically a rise of an increase of 967% at times, tenfold number of attacks that have an accrued bandwidth of more than 100 gig. And the question then is, how can you deal with weaponing yourself, or how can you properly deal with these high traffic volumes? And it's basically not something that is new, but obviously as you see the traffic volume that comes with it is getting very high and higher and higher. And on the right side, what you see on that picture is basically the way how we as a Nokia router can deal with that. It's basically not anymore by just blocking your source IPs or your attacked website, but effectively becoming smarter in terms of the traffic that you want to block. Smarter in the way by programming a pattern in your ACLs that you can specifically filter out DNS amplification attacks, NTP monoliths, memcached attacks, or any kind of that sorts. And with that, I basically like to already conclude this very short intermezzo about what we see as peering trends in 2020. Thank you very much.
Just check there are no questions. No? Great. Thank you. Thank you, Jonas.